In the first age, in the first battle, when the radiation first lengthened, he chose the path of perpetual torment. He wore a yellow flight helmet that he bought from Trashcan Carla, and those that tasted the sting of his double-barrel shotgun named him the Doomslayer. And in today's video, we're going to figure out, can you beat Fallout 4 as the Doomslayer? Before we're getting into the video, I need to tell you the rules first. The first rule is, I can only beat the game after I got all of the necessary arsenals and armors that makes me looks like the Doomslayer. The arsenal includes 10mm pistol, double-barrel shotgun, combat shotgun, assault rifle, missile launcher, minigun, Gauss Rifle, plasma rifle, and the Reaper. And for the armor I need yellow flight helmet, heavy combat armor, combat arms, and Freefall legs. The second rule is I cannot wear power armor, use chems, and have a companion. But temporary companions for certain quests is fine because I don't really have an option there. The third rule is I cannot kill using VATS and can only shoot from the hip, and stealth is not an option in this challenge. And no mods. Okay, so you now know the rules. So without any further ado, let's begin the challenge. At the beginning, I tried to sculpt my character to look like the Doomslayer, but I think I did a pretty horrible job doing it. For this character, I gave 6 points for strength and intelligence, 2 points for perception and luck, 5 points for endurance, and 3 points for charisma, and 4 points for agility. And I named him John Kane Blazkowicz, because I cannot decide I should name him John Kane or Blazkowicz. The bomb fell, wife got shot, I woke up a few years later, I punched a few red roaches, and got my first weapon, the 10mm pistol. When I got out from the vault, I paid a raider and her dog a visit, sent them to hell, and got my second weapon, a double-barrel shotgun. I didn't expect to get it until Concord, because the raider that spawned here usually carries a pipe pistol, but I'll take it. Then I visit Sanctuary, told Codsworth to fuck off, took the Grogneck Comicus, why not, and took the special book and picked agility. I will regret this decision later. Then I went to Red Rocket, ignored dog meat, and store all of my junk. Paid 3 raiders and a dog a visit and killed them for XP. Not so long after, I got ambushed by some mole rats, and Bethesda being Bethesda, I experienced a ditch. Just see for yourself. I arrived at Concord, and this is when I didn't expect the challenge to be this hard. I don't know if it's because I suck or because I suck. I took the fusion core, killed all of the raiders, Great Mercy, and then go to get the power armor. I'm only using the power armor to get the minigun since I cannot get it without using the power armor. And that's how I got the minigun, my third weapon. When I went down to face the raiders, there was a sudden error in my brain, and I have to restart it. For a good couple of minutes, the raiders destroyed my Yars many times, but when the restart is complete, I can finally manage to kill them with ease. When a big lizard shows up, I gave her whatever I got, and while I was shooting the damn thing, an idiot approached me and paid the price. I managed to kill the dinosaur, and then went back to Preston to take the reward. Listening to Mama Murphy's bullshit, and then went back to Red Rocket, store my chunks, made a bed, and rest for an hour. After that, I upgraded my weapons and continued to seek XPs. I went to Yusuf Satellite Station, Olivia, to get some more ammo for my minigun, and then I'm on my way to Diamond City. While on the road, I got distracted and cleared a few dungeons, and I found a missile launcher, my fourth weapon on the list. When I finally arrived in Diamond City, I did an interview with Piper to get some more sweet XPs and her chunks. After that, I killed a random possessed man and then head to the combat zone. Why I have to go to the combat zone, you might ask? Well, I don't know either. I just want to slaughter the raiders. I got distracted again and clearing another 2 dungeons, but at least I know when to stop because I know that I wasn't ready for a glowing feral ghoul. Then, I go to an apartment building and found a combat shotgun. I got lucky. I didn't do any research for finding a combat shotgun, so I don't know if it always spawns there, but I'll take it. That's the 5th weapon on my list. In the apartment, I was almost ambushed by a couple of raiders, but they are no match for the Doomslayer. On the top of the building, I killed more raiders and came across a group of raiders having a fight with a group of super mutants. me being a frozen chicken nugget again, going full on Leroy Jenkins towards them, and got killed. I cleared the combat zone, and then went to the mass fusion building for that sweet Freefall legs. For some of you who don't know the Freefall legs, it's a unique secret leg armor that can only be found on a room on top of the mass fusion building that can only be possible to reach with a jetpack. But I have something better than a jetpack. A basket. That's right, dear viewers. Now watch and learn. After you succeeded to get to the top of the glass roof, you just have to go up again, and after many tests and gaming rage, I managed to get into the room and had gamer orgasm. Now, I got to the first armor on my list, and don't have to worry for falling to my death. After that, I go to Good Neighbor, and introduced Finn to my combat shotgun. They didn't really get along. Then I slaughtered 3 triggermen, sold their weapons, and buy more shotgun shells. I upgraded my 10mm pistol and head to the Kendall Hospital to get the 6th weapon, the Assault Rifle. With my mighty arsenals, I am ready to go inside to kill some raiders and a deathball. Inside, I got killed once by a raider with a missile launcher, but eventually killed all of them. When I got my Assault Rifle, I was preparing myself to fight the deathball. Even though it wasn't necessary, I just want to kill the damn thing. In my first attempt, I shot it once with a missile launcher, and then tried to continue it with my combat shotgun. Didn't work and died. In my second attempt, I tried to kill it with my minigun, and it didn't work either. In my third attempt, I used Molotov cocktails, 2 shots of missiles, and continued to drain its health with combat shotgun, and it eventually died. My next objective is to find the Gauss Rifle, and as far as my research goes, which is like 20 seconds, the Gauss Rifle is in Bridgman. Luckily, in this challenge, I'm siding with the Brotherhood because I think it's the faction that the Doomslayer will join. On my way to the Cambridge police station, I heard someone talking that I thought was Raider. Turns out, it's Art, gun pointing, Saint Art. It's all too late though, because I accidentally shot him and made him hostile, so I killed them both. When I arrived at the police station, Dance and I cleared the ferals, and then we went to the object to retrieve whatever it is that is searching. After the mission's done, I became a member of the Brotherhood and accepted my first assignment, and went to Corvega Assembly Plant, my personal favorite dungeon, to clear in Vault 4. After everything was as dead as with Dog Toy, I went back to the Cambridge police station, and got ambushed by feral fools. In the middle of clearing the ferals, a settler asked me to help her. Being a good person for once, I helped her to kill a group of raiders, and when I went back to her, she is nothing but a sack of potatoes laying on the ground. She got killed by a feral fool that I didn't kill during the middle of the fight. Then I went back to Helen, received my reward, and decided now to go to the Park Street station to rescue Nick Valentine. On my way to the station, a voice in my head told me to kill the SWAN. I don't know why. Maybe because I wanna test my combat skill. Anyway, it was pretty tempting, so I quick saved and tried to kill the enormous ogre. So I threw Molotov cocktails and shot a missile. The missile missed, but that's fine. And trying to keep myself alive by attacking it with all of the arsenals I have. I thought I was gonna win, but no, the luck punished me for no reason, and the big bitch killed my level 12 ass. On my second attempt, I also shot the thing with every arsenal I got. And then I have an idea. I was defending myself from the thing by standing in the roof of the station. This made him cannot go near me or attack me. Then, a few shots later, the big ogre finally fell, and I have to perform a halo ceremony on top of him. But then, I got an unexpected attack by a dog with a cancer, so I gladly killed him to end his misery. Inside the station, I don't know what got into me, but I actually getting better in combat. I don't know how and why. Maybe it's because I got an adrenaline rush from killing the SWAN, or maybe it's because I just got comfortable of my hip fire on the roll. Anyway, I slaughtered them all, Doomslayer style, and then head to the vault to save Nick. I killed Dino with no effort whatsoever, and rescued Nick before this man made him into a metallic pancake. On our way out, I skipped the talking part and just threw a Molotov cocktail and shoot them all. Outside, Nick and I talked, and then completed the Unlikely Nick quest, got me some sweet XPs. After that, I went back to the Red Rocket to store all of my chunks, and upgraded my weapons. When I arrived in the main city, I realized how little shotgun shells I have, so I pay more. And then I head to Nick's office and talked about the day when the man kidnapped my son. Nick assumed that it was Kellogg is the man who kidnapped my son. So I went to Demon's secretary, persuaded her, and it worked. I didn't expect it to work since I only have 3 charisma points. But okay. I tried to commit suicide, but I forgot that I have the Freefall legs with me, thus prevented me of ending my miserable existence. Inside Kellogg's house, we found a secret room, and got enough clues to track the con man. I met DOGMA outside, then followed the mud so I can find Kellogg. When I reached Fort Hagen, I slaughtered the Sins and finally met Kellogg. Thinking like the Doomslayer, I skipped the talking bar by throwing 2 grenades and shot Kellogg with a missile launcher. It didn't kill him though. When he used Stealth Boy, I lost track of him but eventually succeeded killing him, and then I finished the rest of the Sins. On the outside of the fort, I saw the Brotherhood has arrived in the Commonwealth, aka my Gauss Rifle. I returned to Nick to discuss my findings and then head to the memory den in Good Neighbor. Long story short, I went through Kellogg's mine, and then I went to prepare myself for the glowing sea. Now this was not the hardest part, but still pretty challenging, for me at least. Luckily, I have gathered enough red eggs to face the glowing sea, but before that, I must clear more dungeons for XPs. The first dungeon that I cleared was Haymarket Mall. It was easy, no big deal, and when I got the chance to fight the Alpha Claw on the rooftop, I thought it would be a hell of a fight, but no. It was ridiculously easy if you have a missile launcher. I cannot say the same about Protectron though. It almost killed me, so I jumped off the hanging train to save my life from that damn Tin Man. After a few more dungeons, I came across Ada and a few robots that ambushed her. With a huge dose of grenades and Molotov cocktails, I managed to kill all of the robots. After I talked to Ada, I sent her to Red Rocket to keep my promise of the rules, and because screw her, I don't like her. After all of that troubles, I upgraded my weapons, and now I am ready to face the glowing sea. In the glowing sea, the biggest problem to me was not the Deathclaws, or Red Scorpions, or Feral Ghouls. Believe it or not, my biggest fear in this godforsaken radiated field was stingwings and bloodflies. Whenever I encountered those things, I just simply ran out of fear. I found Virgil and then I performed pressing the A button repeatedly simulator, and then went to kill the Courser. Before that, I went to find another piece of my armor, a yellow flight helmet. I looked into Fallout Wiki and turns out I can purchase one from Terascan Carla. So I went to Sanctuary and bought the helmet from her. On my way to Green Deck, I paused my game for quite a long time, because I realized my phone charger was dipped in my cup of beer, and no, I am not joking this time. Inside Green Deck, I fought the gunners and had no problem with it, even though they were tougher than a Deathclaw, believe it or not. I had a small problem with this one gunner with a missile launcher, and I tasted my own medicine twice. But that problem was solved with a single grenade. When I finally met the Courser, I didn't want to waste time, so I threw a grenade and shot him with my missile launcher. It didn't kill him though, obviously. So then, I continued it with many mines and shotgun shots. He eventually fell to the ground like a sack of potatoes. After the fight, I got either an adrenaline rush or a bloodlust, because after killing the Courser, I went to a dungeon, killed the raiders in it, and then went to the pillar of the community to slaughter them all. After all that, I head to the police station to meet Dance to go to the Breedwind. In the vertibird, I tried to kill us all by shooting the vertibird's propeller. It didn't work, so I unleashed my anger by shooting the Commonwealth. Accidentally hit what I believe Captain Ironside, but that's fine. After I arrived in Breedwind, I witnessed a vertibird casually flying through the Breedwind in typical Bethesda fashion. I talked with Elder Maxon with no patience and then head to Tegan, who has a Gauss Rifle on the table behind him. Getting there was easy. All I need to do was to unequip my weapon and activate my VATS. After that, I cancelled my attack before it hit him, and then I can take anything I want to take. I tried to kill us all again by throwing a mini nuke to the floor. It didn't work either, and my day was ruined again. To get out from the room, I need a person on the other side of the room. I was lucky that there was someone on the other side. After I got my Gauss Rifle, I decided to buy ammos, and because I was a little short of caps, I went back to the room and took a fat man, a few mini nukes, and a X01 helmet. When I dragged the fat man to a safer place, I misclicked it and accidentally took it. I, of course, loaded my save and attempted to do it again. After I sold his fat man and his helmet to himself, I went out from the Breedwind to meet Elder Maxon. I stole Maxon's cigarette and then talked to him like nothing happened. After that, I rode a vertibird while playing Old MacDonald Hair Farm with a minigun. I killed the behemoth. After every super mutant had their head on the ground, I continued clearing out for strong inside the building. Nothing I cannot handle until one super mutant had a missile launcher on their side. I died multiple times testing my own medicine, but then I gave them my medicine by shooting them with a missile launcher twice. If that wasn't enough, I also threw a grenade. After they're all dead, I quick talked to Dance and then left him to die in this godforsaken building. But then in my surprise, he teleported. I then report to Elder Maxon and then head to the Railroad HQ to have the cursor chip analyzed. I wasn't feeling cooperative today, so I slaughtered the railroad and killed my favorite companion in the game. This is my first time destroying the railroad, so it actually felt good. They were actually pretty pathetic, except for Deacon Visco. I analyzed the chip and then head to Pigman's gallery for more XPs. Inside, as the Doomslayer, I slaughtered them with ease, and then to my surprise, I got a combat armor right arm. Now, I just need the heavy combat chestplate, the heavy combat armor left arm, the Reaper, and a plasma rifle. When I rescued Pigman, I was planning to kill him too, but then God Howard saved him by spawning a plasma pistol inside the chest near him. My mood became good, and I cancelled his doom and took his loot. Virgil gave me the plan for the teleporter, built a stabilized reflector platform, and then I went to a specific dungeon to acquire the heavy combat chestplate. For the combat left arm, I just bought it from Arturo. The heavy combat chestplate was located in Hot City Auto Records, on the bridge worn by a peach. I was killed by an assaultron, so you now might think that I will pull my missile launcher. But no, not this time. Instead, I pull out many fragmentation mines to kill the iron cunt. And it worked. I cleared the rest of the gunners and then finally faced the bitch who wore the armor. I shot her with a missile right into her chest, and she took it like it's nothing but a paper plane. But when I introduced her with my shotgun, her health dropped like crazy. Explain this logic, Bethesda. Eventually she died, I took her chestplate, and now my armor complete. Now I just need a Reaper, and then I'm ready to finish the damn game. I did my research this time, and the Reaper was located in West Everett Estates, which was filled with super mutants. So I went there, killed their puppies, and got cornered by these Hulk copycats. Now this is where things had managed to annoy me. It felt like I was stuck in a loop like Groundhog Day. I died a lot, killed by the same super mutant, by the same missile, and every time I respawn, I hear the same goddamn music from a radio nearby. But then a miracle happened. God Howard moved the piece of shit to a house, and I finally got a chance to kill the damn thing. I threw a few grenades and shot it with my super shotgun. Thank you, kind thought. I won't forget your kindness. Then I finally got the Reaper. I tried to kill a mutant hound with it to test its strength, and I almost died doing it. But aside from that, my quest to find the items has complete. Now I just have to finish the game. Fast forward, I completed the teleporter and went to the Instutute. I made fake Sean and then greeted the real Sean. When I asked him about his mother, he said it was a collateral damage. I think he still doesn't know what collateral damage means, so I showed him the real collateral damage. I reload my save, of course, and I promised to deal with my son later. I then went to Dr. Lee to convince her to join the Brotherhood, but my charisma was not enough to convince her to join. So, talking to her didn't work. I have to go to Virgil's lab to bring her an evidence that she wanted so much. And at the time, taking a potion to cure Virgil. I showed her the evidence and she was shocked. I was too for a minute because this is my first time in many years to witness an averagely good body animation in Bethesda game. I went back to Bridwin and report to Elder Maxon, and then I went to Proctor Ingram to give her the holotape that she wanted. I hope she'll find it useful to fight the Instutute. Minutes later, I'm heading to Milton General Hospital to pick up the high-powered magnet, clean the place, picked up the magnet, and built the electromagnetic actuator. And then I head back to the glowing sea to get the nukes for Liberty Prime. Almost shit myself when the blood bug noticed me, so I ran. Luckily it lost interest of me. I arrived at the pyramid and then head inside. Inside, I tried to kill myself. Didn't work, but that's okay. And then proceed to kill everything in my way. When I came face to face with an Atom fanatic, I knew that my charisma points was not enough to get through his mind. So I chose the explosive option. Throw a grenade into his room and surprise, it didn't kill him. I finished the job and secured nukes. When I arrived back at the Boston airport, I got the time to actually see Liberty Prime in all of its glory, and holy shit, when he talked, it trembled my Chinese ass. Elder Maxon called me to tell me that Dance is a synth and I must kill him, and so I did with cold blood. On my next mission, I have to go to the Railroad HQ to slaughter the railroads and reprogram BAM. It has been a pleasure to slaughter their asses for the second time. And it's finally time for me to do the mass fusion mission. And let me tell you, this is the most pain in the ass mission in this playthrough. First, the synths were pain in my ass, but eventually I managed to kill them. Going in the elevator, I ignored almost all of their shots, and when I arrived at the glass floor, I killed all of the remaining synths. And then greet my old friend, the basket. And like always, she never disappoints me to levitate me from the ground. I think I should marry the basket. Below mass fusion, I took the beryllium agitator and woke up a few tin men. I killed them with anything I have, my arsenals and throwables, everything. When everything's done, I went up and greeted by a war between Synths and the Brotherhood. I joined the fight, but then I realized that this is pointless and I don't have to do this, so I left the war. I head to Diamond City, spend the rest of my caps for buying many ammos to prepare for the final battle. While I was talking to Ingram to put the beryllium agitator inside Liberty Prime, everyone was on their attack mode all of a sudden. I was searching for the cause for their aggressiveness, and it turns out to be a group of super mutants on the cross of a river. I did not know what triggered them to become aggressive towards them, even though they are pretty far. When the super mutants were killed, I came back to Ingram to continue our conversation, and then powered up Liberty Prime. I skipped his way to the CIT and simply fast travel. I let the Brotherhood to do the job by killing Synths, and when Liberty Prime was arrived, he shot laser beam out of his eyes. Just for curiosity, I decided to stand in front of the laser beam, and of course it killed me. I respawned and then head inside the Instutute. Long story short, we killed many Synths inside and rip and tear the humans inside with my Reaper for more ammos. I greeted Sean and told him that I'll visit him from time to time. When everything's done, since Sean wanted me to take him, but I don't give a fuck about a child, so I tried to kill him with my minigun. I expect damage, but this is just straight up cheating. Thanks Bethesda. So I left the Instutute, leaving Sean to die and nuked the place. So yes, you can beat Fallout 4 as the Doomslayer.